Hi there. Hey, welcome to the third installment of Heads Together, the series we're doing here at Share Builders, where we take a few minutes to talk with our clients about current trends in the media industry. I'm Bob Swinehart, Senior Pricing Consultant with Share Builders. I am lucky enough to get to help our clients on a weekly basis with forecasting, pricing, inventory, and client management relationships. We have an entire suite of tools to help our clients work together through their opportunities and challenges when it comes to selling broadcast advertising. And more recently, Share Builders has begun working with clients in the out-of-home sector. Joining me today is Brown Douglas, the director of Griffin 6 and Griffin 9 Outdoor at Griffin Media in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. Brown and I have worked together for a little more than 3 years, and I wanted to bring Brown on today to talk more in depth about out-of-home, the oldest form of advertising, and in layman terms, typically referred to as the billboard industry, and really want to talk deep dive into how it has evolved in the digital age. So, Brown, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad you mentioned the oldest form of you took my only line out of it. It's the oldest form of advertising, right?
It's been around a little bit longer than you and I.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
would you mind taking a couple of minutes or a moment or two to tell us about your background in the out-of-home business and your tenure there with Griffin?
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. I appreciate it. I've been in the industry. This is my 30th year in the industry, with a 5-year hiatus into banking. And so really excited about the industry and some of the changes that it's gone through. I'll tell you, I came back 10 years, as you say, to Griffin, and I've been with Griffin about 10 years. And that was my introduction back to the out-of-home industry. And it's been a great ride. It's a fun time. It's a fun time being out of home, especially digital out of home, which is what we concentrate on. And Griffin is a media company that has digital, online, radio, and TV, and of course, digital outdoor. So that compilation there really works well for us together. So 30 years and still learning every day. I promise you that.
I will say that Griffin is one of the more unique media conglomerates out there, and it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure working with you guys over my 3-year tenure with the group. So
Absolutely, it's been great.
you've had a pretty long career in the out of home industry, even though you stepped away to get into the banking world. Yeah, I'm sure you've witnessed the out of home evolution from simple paper one sheets to now connected digital billboard networks, multiple advertisers in multiple locations. I mean, it's crazy how the out of home business has changed. And I spent a couple of years in out of home myself. Do you feel like there are systems that out there now that can help you stay on top of your business intelligence? What's happening?
You know what? First thing that comes to mind is there are a lot of systems that have been that way, but because of the evolution, I mean, you say back to the one sheet poster boards, because that's what they were. When I started, they were painting on sections, these big bulletins on sections inside the shop. They take those sections, break them down, go back out and rebuild the sign up on there. And then you had that vinyl revolution, that happened, and now digital that we're right in the middle of. But with digital brought on that need to manage that inventory a lot more than the Excel spreadsheet of the old Booker's notebook.
A map and a piece of paper.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It certainly changed the industry, and we partnered with Apparatix back in 22, and that has certainly changed the way we manage our business. It helps us tremendously with occupancy. It doesn't have a lot of rate in there for us, but it manages the whole business if you want it to. And so it's been a game changer for us, from 17 different spreadsheets all in one management system. So it's really helped us a lot, for sure.
So definitely the move to a digital billboards and some technology that's following is helping you kind of manage that inventory, which has grown exponentially, right? I mean,
Uh,
now you have one billboard in a digital that you're flipping with 8 or 10 advertisers, and you've got 15 or 20 across your entire plant or your entire market. Yeah, it seems like it would be impossible without the technology piece to stay ahead of just what you're actually running. It's almost like a TV station.
Yeah, it really is. You equate it with placing those spots, all day long. Obviously, they have a lot more inventory on TV and radio side of our business, but without out of home, it does help us schedule out and to get rid of the Excel spreadsheets was a wonderful day that we certainly enjoyed. It's great to be able to look out in the future, see where we are on occupancy, and a lot of it's automated through our rotary system. A lot of it is automated, so that helps us out a lot, manage the inventory that we have.
And that's great. I mean, and of course, you're aware, you're one of our guinea pigs as far as working with share builders on our out of home, pricing tool to help also manage not just the inventory, but the pricing and the future forecasting based on historical. I'm just curious, like, how do you see the industry changing with more and more inventory being sold on the programmatic level?
Yeah, well, I think programmatic we're excited about being on that programmatic area. We're part of that through the Apparatix marketplace. It's still a very choppy, sloppy system, if you will, not necessarily Apparatix system, but the whole system in total. It's got some growing still to do, and certainly some combining of some of these companies. But I think in the end, they're buying more impressions. They're trying to buy mass impressions at a good CPM. We're really able to deliver that in out of home, and I think it's gonna continue to evolve, continue to I think better itself, if you will. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next 3 to 5 years. It's been great to watch it so far. It's been great to be a part of it and enjoy some of the revenue from it. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves as we move forward.
It's definitely an opportunity there to capture, a
Absolutely.
greater overall share. What do you think the one thing that out of home operators can do to capture a bigger share of, media ad dollars? Because I think historically, out of home has been what, 5%, 6%, somewhere in
Absolutely.
that range.
Yeah, I think, a little, if we're above 5, we're happy, But I tell you, the industry, with what's happened in the other forms of industry, with the fragmentation that's going on and what they're doing to deal with that, the out-of-home industry is that last piece that used to be at the bottom of the funnel. And you're exactly right, it was 5%. Well, at this point, instead of being that last 5%, out of home is moving to the planning phases up to the beginning stages of when you're writing a media plan. And I think we have to continue to push the value that we have in outdoor, the value that you have to. I mean, what other media are you forced to coexist with? I mean, that's what's so strong. There's not another media out there that you can't turn off. I mean, you have to be with that media. You have to
That's
watch
so
it. It's
true.
powerful, right? I mean, it really is. When we put up ads, we have to think about, is it appropriate for me, my family? Is it appropriate for my daughter, for my children? Those are things that you have to think about because it's up there for everybody to look at and you can't turn it off.
That is so
So
true. It is such a powerful medium that, yeah, you can't tune it out. You
that
can't. So
absolutely.
the messaging is critical, and the technology and how out of home has evolved in the digital age is amazing. So what do you think the top end, how much can out of home capture in terms of total media dollars?
Well, I think we're limited by inventory, and that's a good thing. I mean, it's really truly a good thing because there's only so many slots. You don't want the whole city filled up with over saturation of out of home. It doesn't work well for our product. Many people have this false illusion that billboard company want to build more billboards and have an unlimited amount of billboards. We lose all effectiveness at that point. So we want a great ordinance that works for all involved. And it still provides the end. What we're doing is providing a low cost, effective means of advertising for our advertisers. That's what we're doing. And we can't get away from that. So, where it goes, I think you can continue to push CPMs up, and we're producing CPMs on buys that are 250 to 350 on the top end, sometimes less than that. And that's really an impressive CPM for something that is out there, effective, works, and you're forced to coexist with.
Yeah,
So I think
I remember
at
from
top,
my, sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
I just remember from my days in outdoor that efficiencies in terms of cost per thousand, was out of home was amongst the highest of any media, typically always.
Yeah.
Now I think that digital in some regards is a little more efficient, but it's also a lot more wasteful.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, and you have that in that digital space, and I think it's much better than it was 3 to 5 years ago. But there was a lot of mistrust. There was a lot of people that weren't doing what they should have been going in that digital space, that pure digital space. And so I think there was a lot of fraud there. But I think it's really because of the reporting and what's happening in the digital world, it's gotten a lot better. And we're even doing that. We're doing planned impressions, showing what it looks like over a whatever 3, 6, 12-month period. And then at the end of it, we come back and say, here's what we delivered. And that's a form of verification or certification that we didn't used to have in the out-of-home industry.
Yeah, I guess that that ability to give follow-up data for out of home has come a long way from the days of counting cars and trying to multiply the number of people in the vehicle that passes your billboard.
Absolutely.
It has truly been a digital evolution, or even revolution in
That's what
out
I
of
was about to
home.
say. I agree with you. I think
Yeah,
revolution would really describe it. I remember the early days when TAB, the Traffic Audit Bureau,
yep.
well, you wouldn't have an audit count on a certain road, so you would have to go sit for different times of the day and count cars for 15-minute intervals to get a traffic count. Now, how antiquated is that in this day? We not only use traffic counts, and we don't do it. Geopath does it, the accepted form of currency in outdoor. But it uses mobile phone data. It's using car data that's going back. There's so many pieces that are put into that. It's so much more accurate than it used to be.
Yeah, it's really changed. So,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna leave with this. We have so far with ShareBuilder's out of home, pricing, forecasting, inventory management tool, been able to import Apporatix data. We've been able to import other historic data. I'm just curious, in what ways do you see, since you've been working with us for, in the out-of-home space for a couple of years now, but are just now seeing our new tool. In what ways do you see the new ShareBuilder out-of-home pricing tool helping you grow your share of business going forward?
I think it allows us to take that step back. As you were talking about, forecasting is pacing is one of the things that the out-of-home industry really hadn't looked at, especially with digitals. It's nice to see that pacing information. It's also good to see these pricing models and honestly to be involved in some of the groundwork of those pricing models, because it's an understanding of how the out-of-home industry works. It's not as fluctuating as some of the other ones, the other forms of media, radio and TV and digital, where the prices go up and down a lot. That traffic doesn't change a whole lot. And so it's important for us to have that stability across. And it's nice to be able to look out, see where we were last year, where we're pacing now, and start having that pricing. It's an exciting opportunity for us to be able to look and see, could this help us in pricing? And I think it may not be the guide, but it'll be one of the pieces that we'll use in order to price the inventory for the sellers.
Certainly. Thank you, Brown. I appreciate you taking the time together to put your head together with me. Truly appreciate it. Hey, everybody, stay tuned for future releases on our Heads Together series. To make sure you don't miss an episode, follow ShareBuilders on LinkedIn or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're looking forward to sharing more conversations like this with you and other thought leaders in the broadcast and out-of-home industry soon. Thanks so much. And Brown, thank you again.
Hey, thanks, Bob. Talk later.